What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. You're here with the Daily Disclosure with myself, Ron Swanson. I hope everyone's having a good day. I need to fix the de-esser. There we go. That sounds much better. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Beautiful. How is everybody doing, man? Like, it has been a minute, right? Especially as far as getting the Daily Show back in order. But, man, we have got a lot going on. This Friday, the new podcast will be launching at 9 o'clock. The noise gate is now. The noise gate. Testing. There we go. So we've got a lot happening. We have got a lot happening. Tonight, of course, we've got myself, Beverly Rose, and Azria for the Cryptid series. Then Thursday, Awaken with Beverly Rhodes. And then Friday, we are straight in with the new podcast. And of course, Friendly Fire with Samson. But myself and Big Homie and Beverly will be taking the 9 o'clock to midnight slot and filling it with a brand new podcast. And I'm very, very, very excited. So the Daily Disclosure, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of a bit of a free-for-all. I think a lot of us are a bit fed up with the way the world's going, right? And the amount of nonsense that we get spoon-fed. And I thought we could just talk about some of that. And as we progress, we'll get into a bit of a rhythm. But I just wanted to sort of avoid major repetition of content here. What you all saying in the side chat? Also, I need to swap this round. There we go. What is going on? I would put that out, and it's a new series to join. We're banned on Facebook right now because Ron did a boo-boo. So I think there's a few more weeks before we can stream on there again, sadly. But it's the way it goes, you know. Give me a like, give me a share. And so I think it was the start of the year. Everyone was freaking out about this egg footage of this egg UFO. And then I touched down on Twitter earlier. And there was something on there I want to have a look at. Yeah, okay. So I just don't know where I'm at with this, but have a look at this. So this is meant to be taken. So this is meant to have been part of this egg UFO where apparently people can see symbols cut into the side of it all. And I'll be honest, it doesn't really look like much until you start playing around with the color levels, which we'll do just now. Right? Let me just shrink this down a little bit. Also, as well, on Discord and while we're live, let me know if there's anything that's kind of doing your nutting that you're wanting me to cover or talk about today. All right. So we've got this sort of greeny looking shenanigans here. And if we just start messing about here, you can really see these symbols starting to pop out. Like there's clearly something cut into the side of this. Like it's not just like, you know, scratches or bumps or whatever. Hang on a second. Color balance. Yeah, I mean, those are symbols, man. That's crazy. See, it's stuff like this. I mean, fair enough, it's a whistleblower. And the footage was a bit like all over the place that this guy produced, right? But I mean, those are definitely carvings. What's your guys' take on the whole egg UFO shenanigans? Like, because this is the stuff that does my head in. Do you know what I mean? Because we talk a lot about the awakening, we talk a lot about the off-worlders and things like this, right? And they talk a lot about free will, and that's why they've not intervened or anything like that, right? And I kind of feel a little bit like, see, if we applied that to a toddler, okay? See, if we applied that to a toddler, I'd have some questions for the parents, right? I'd be like, probably shouldn't be letting him run around with scissors. Probably shouldn't be letting him drive the car. This is free will, though, right? So then it comes down to trust for Ronald. It comes down to trust, okay? Because I know that if I create something and I have his best interest at heart, I ain't going to let it run with scissors. All right? That's all I'm saying. So I feel like there's some trust that needs to be, there's possibly some trust that needs to be gained here. Because I got some questions. Now, this egg situation, hang on, Sean Ryan show. I don't know what that show is. I don't think I've seen the Sean Ryan show. I maybe we looked at that last time. At one of the guys' channels we brought up last time. I seem to have a long list of random cryptid-based UFO YouTube sites on a list. What's going on here? We're just starting the new daily series about daily disclosures and delving into some of the bits and bobs that seem to be lesser discussed in the news. And getting started on it all. We should ask Elena Danan. Exactly. Elena Danan is a great one to ask. But let me put it another way for you. All right. Is the emissary the best person to ask? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the main representative for the people that I'm it's not even the people that I'm questioning, not even any particular thing I'm questioning. I just have a problem or two. All right. I just have a problem or two with this whole free will. Because Daddy talks a lot about technology that we have and medicines that we have and all these things that get kept from us. Sim 1, it's a picture of that egg UFO, and apparently there's a whole bunch of carvings on it. And we were just sort of looking at that. To be honest, it's day one of this show, and I sadly thought I had an extra couple of hours for preparing today. But the wonderful, wonderful little Miss Nova had to go to the hospital just to get her hips checked, and I can say with much confidence that her hips are fine. She is good, because there was some worries when she was born. I think it was because she was breech for a certain period. I don't know, something to do with her being upside down for a little while. Yeah. So I'm excited for Daddy's big meet up. I'm excited to talk to some people who are real genuine experts in this field, because that ain't me. And also, do you know how badass Danny Henderson is? Like demons and stuff. Like the girl is she's littered with skill sets. So I'm excited to delve into that with her a little bit further. Now, I think if there's all of this stuff that has been given to us, and then the people that have given it over have then flown away, and they see that it's being mistreated and misused and all the rest of it, What could possibly have gone on that they thought the people that they gave it to were a good choice? Like it I just I need to sit down and have a conversation. Like I am not the guy who's going to freak out if somebody wants to come and pay me a visit. I ain't that guy. Um, but I've just got a lot of questions, you know? I've got a lot of questions and I need some answers. So that's my little journey as far as the off-worldy side goes. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, I got a lot of questions, and we've put this image. Like I said, we put this in, like I just did. Sorry, we put this image into Photoshop, and we adjusted some of the contrast, and we can see these symbols kind of popping out, and it's just more cover up, more suspicion, more reasons to not trust any of the. Oh, hello there. No, that's this that on that. It's just endless. It's never ending, and I'm just having a look at what I can and cannot play. Thank you very much for the subscribe. I just want to say as well, all the new links are active in the description. There's possibly one that isn't there. Now, I have got this new podcast starting on Saturday. I have got a special announcement Thursday at midnight that is taking place on a custom built Discord server. All right, I'm going to post a link just now. You cannot, there's not much you can do in there at all because it's, I thought she didn't believe in anything religious. Nah, she doesn't believe in anything religious, Laura. But man, demons. You see, that's the thing, right? So the word demon, okay, when the big three religions took over, right? Christianity, Judaism, Islam. When they took over, every single thing, the fire pixies, the fairies, all the gods, all the elementals, everything got labeled a demon. Everything. So there's two sort of perceptions to look at when it comes to the demons of it all. Hey, Ron, bless you, Danny, beautiful Nova. Thank you very much. What the heck is he talking about? What are you confused about, Shark here? What part are you confused about? I'm happy to explain it. It definitely takes an open mind. In fact, I don't even think it takes an open mind. In fact, I mean, it does take an open mind, but not in the metaphorical sense, like in the literal sense. Religion does drop clues, yeah. I think you're right too. Where's Aileen? I don't know. Everybody, yeah, James, I hope you're doing well today, my G. We're doing very well. Now, just bear with me. Have we had any explanation yet on these drones in America? Anybody in America? Anyone seen any updates on this whatsoever? Anyone? Because again, we're talking about a country with however many billions in defense, and we've not had an answer yet. What is going on? It's just all getting a bit. Stick something in front of your face, explain nothing, right? And then just move on. It's wild. And I'll tell you something, right? I'll tell you something. The craziest theory, right? That I genuinely think is one reason why nobody is mentioning this, right? Is the rogue AI theory, where a bunch of AIs just started flying drones around. Has gone completely self-aware, started duplicating itself into Lisa Allen. Yeah. First spelling. ALA. Alan's doing his thing. Alan's away dealing with some problematic individuals right now, if I'm being honest. There are some people having rather horrific nightmares right now. And I wish them nothing but more of them. So what else? Yeah, it's just all a bit sus. And I just feel like, because we all felt January, right? We all felt how terrible January was. All sides are spewing lies. It's just like, it's just so much easier to believe everything is a lie, right? Because, I mean, let's be honest. If you were, one of the governing bodies that we're talking about here, it's easier just to make up everything, right? Like, let's think about it. Is it easier to make up everything, or just, to the public, right? Is it easier to lie about everything than it is to lie about some things? Because to me, in my head, it would become a nightmare over generations, over the decades, to keep up with lies that fit in with some form of reality. It makes more sense to just make everything up and control the narrative across the board. That's kind of what I feel. I don't know what you guys think. Also, there will be new thumbnails tomorrow with the title, like with the actual show contents and titles like we had before. Just today, it just did not happen. I'm actually still got to make a thumbnail for Sean. It's been crazy, absolutely crazy. And you guys will understand what's been going on Friday. New podcast, massive project. I'm pouring everything, my heart, my soul, my time, everything into this project. I'm going to show you guys a trailer for it just shortly. But I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. Right. Bear with me a second. Right. 1 second. Why as well is why I feel like even now browsers that should be, or search engines that should be doing their jobs are not. All right, what is this? FBI and Danish police investigate mystery UFOs and Baltic tensions. Is there a link? See, this is another thing, right? My Discord's still closed. It'll be open on Friday, but you all want to join the Discord that is in the description and the one that I'm posting, because there's going to be a massive announcement on that server Thursday at midnight. It can't be a YouTube announcement, and it's all describing what it is that is about to launch. Because yes, there's a podcast, right? But that podcast is only being created to report on the missions and the actions of a movement that I'm hoping that'll become bigger than the podcast. The podcast will be going out on multiple channels. It doesn't have any set home. It is a living organism that is, again, to showcase the missions and where your guys' support is going for 100% standing on the side of protecting children. Right? Like, that is it. That we are actively doing boots on ground operations. There's so much going on, and it needs to be presented in a way for YouTube that can't be weaponized against any of the channels, if that makes sense. So there's just a little bit of work left to do, and it'll be live on Friday, and I'm excited. And like I say, I'm going to show you guys the trailer, because this is back to what Ron is best known for. And if you could also just give me a like and a share, that'd be pretty nice. Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, so FBI, this is another thing, right? Like, what is the benefits of flying a UFO shaped drone into our country, right? And then America suddenly getting involved and nipping over and being like, "Oh yes, we know nothing about this UFO. Let me help you investigate that." Like I always feel like there's something shady going on. Danish police and the FBI. Why are the FBI involved? Danish police and the FBI are investigating what seems to be separate incidents of fleets of unidentified flying objects swarming the skies. Also, why is it always this 1982 filmed on a potato CCTV? Like, how about this, right? If I can buy a ring cam that has a better quality camera than the Ministry of Defense has for tracking objects in the sky, I've got further questions. I'm just saying, right? Like if they've got satellites with cameras on them that can read the newspapers from space, it's nuts, man. It's also the same with every single. Have you ever noticed, right? I mean, I need to put the camera back. I'm going to rant here, right? You ever noticed, right? You watch a show about CCTV, right? Or like, oh, we're all being watched, keeping us safe. You see the big multi-panel walls with all the cameras, 8K, 4K. It ain't nothing but Ks. It is like crisp. Soon as something happens to someone, right? Soon as something happens to someone, soon as there's a crime in the street, okay, we're back to this. Like, how though? How? Every single time. When was the last time any of us seen a report in the news with a piece of CCTV footage that was useful? Actually useful. Okay? It's like little zoomed in 8-pixel faces like this. But man, read your credit cards from space, mate. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's either the biggest conspiracy ever, right? Where the CCTV companies have got like B-roll footage that they've made that's HK or like 8K, sorry, so that when the news companies come in, they hit that button and everything goes and looks amazing. But in actual fact, it's some Windows 95 madness. It's just, I just don't get it. Oh, feel safe. Feel safe with the CCTV. Listen, the government doesn't want to keep an eye on you. It wants to keep you safe. Well, how come when my neighbor's car gets smashed in by the frickin' moped gang, right? We've got 8 little potatoes on a screen, right? Madness. I'm just saying, if Elon Musk on the CCTV, right, there'd be heat thermals and X-rays on that shizness. All right, it would be overkill on the cameras. Right. Let's continue. In a strange, unexplained turn of events, Danish police have launched an investigation after at least 20 unidentified flying. I forgot to send this to my mum. Oh God! Right, you all have to give me a minute. You all. I've got an idea for a business. It's called reminding Ron to send the goddamn link to his mum. Okay? Be a better son. The app. All right, where are you, you little rascal? There you are. All right. Did it. Nailed it. All right. So, the strange Danish police were launched an investigation after at least 20 unidentified flying objects, possibly unknown drones, were spotted over the port of the city of Coeg, south of Copenhagen. The eerie sighting reported last Friday night, which nobody's filmed. Apparently, I guess no one's filmed this. Is this it? I swear, this is. The eerie sighting reported last Friday night on January the 3rd was visibly shaken by visibly shaken eyewitnesses have raised eyebrows and sparked widespread speculation. Well, a few of the objects were quickly spotted and then vanished into the night sky, leaving no trace behind. The real question remains: why did they come? Where did they come from? And why were they there? What's even more unnerving is there were no permits issued for drone. Yeah, sure. That is scary. Absolutely. Because I'm sure that's the first thing they're thinking of is permits. Police immediately alerted Denmark's domestic intelligence service, PET, That's a terrible name. But the origins of these mysterious flying objects remain unknown, with tensions rising across the Baltic region. Could these strange occurrences be more than just a what? Listen, harmless, very likely. Anomaly, right? I don't know if that's the right word, mate. Okay, US UFOs over Baltic Russian sabotage fears. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, all right. I mean, if you think America hasn't got some UFOs that they just fly about around Russia just to mess with Russia, crazy. Crazy, mate. Right? In fact, yeah, I mean that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. The sighting in Koig comes at a time when the Nordic and Baltic nations are on high alert, worried that these unknown flying objects may be connected to growing fears in Russia's hybrid warfare. Could these UFO-like drones be part of something bigger? The recent string of incidents involving because here's another thing, right? See if you've seen like a B-52 coming in just over the top here, right? And then all you hear is you're going to absolutely pap yourself, right? Absolutely pap yourself. But you fly a UFO up there or something that looks like a UFO, people are just coming out and standing and looking at it, filming. Like, what would be the strategic and reconnaissance like benefits of that? I feel like they're going to shoot down a bomber, right? But if there's like a mad floating disc thing, no one's shooting at them. When was the last time anyone was like, and the government started trying to take no one? I'm on to something here. Meanwhile, in Finland, authorities invest in the political sabotage of the East Link 2 undersea power cable, which links Finland and Estonia. Finnish officials have raised suspicious about the shadowy fleet of ships believed to be working to avoid EU sanctions, possibly linked to the sabotage. With this in mind, could these mysterious always be connected? Do you know, it's mad to think there's still massive cables under the sea that are basically just extension cords, right? Going from power stations to countries. It's crazy. UFO are yeah, I mean, listen, I think we all kind of have the same feeling that or at least I do. I don't know if it's the reporting of it or if it is actually factual that there is so much more going on in the skies now than has ever been before. At least that's how I feel. In the UK, mysterious drones appeared at the Air Force Base as well. In Germany, similar objects were spotted over military bases, industrial sites, including Ramstein US Air Base. With more countries becoming involved, it's clear that a string of see, this is weird. Like, you know, when you see a movie, right, about like an alien invasion or whatever, there's always that part of the movie where they start doing their own reconnaissance or they want to test our reactions or things like this. Um, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Personally, though, I think if countries haven't made themselves some flying objects, the other countries are quite easily going to say that is a UFO for no other reason than. But in saying that, it's the flying, it's the capabilities of these crafts that are the things that are kind of mind blowing. Sorry, everyone, I'm thinking out loud just now. Here, apologies. Okay, what is this? Oh wow. Okay, this is an interesting one. So put a one in the side chat if you know just like put a one in the side chat if you know about Antarctica, right? If you know, you know, okay. But put a two in the side chat if you've never heard any of the stories about Antarctica, uh, and you just think it's a big snowy place, right? Okay, I think I know which way we're going with this today. 1 second. All right. All right. Put a 1 in the side chat if you have heard. Put a 2 in the side chat if you have not heard of Admiral Richard E. Byrd. Admiral Richard E. Byrd and Antarctica. Oh man, those of you who don't know about this, honestly, this is going to be one of those things where you try and go and tell people at work the story that you heard in the podcast that time. Because which number is which doesn't matter. Don't worry. We're going to talk about this next. Because let Ron just pull up some of the working tools. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So here is the wonderful Wikipedia page on Richard E. Byrd. Okay. He was no joke. Okay. He was a naval officer. He came out of the war, and a lot of the great pilots and things like this were given the opportunity to become explorers, right? And Richard E. Byrd was one of them. So we'll read the first couple of paragraphs. Richard E. Byrd Jr., October 25th, 1988 till March 11th, 1957, was an American naval officer and pioneering aviator, polar explorer, and organizer of polar logistics, aircraft flight in which he served as a navigator and expedition leader across the Atlantic Ocean, a segment of the Arctic Ocean, and a segment of the Antarctic Plateau. He's also known for discovering Mount Sidley, the world's largest dormant volcano in Antarctica. Byrd claimed to be the first to reach both the North and South Poles by air. However, in some controversy as to whether Byrd actually is the first, but no one cares, it is generally believed it doesn't that's not the point of this. So he was a recipient of the Medal of Honor in the United States Armed Forces, the highest military decoration, and the Navy Cross, the second highest honor. Okay, so he's no joke, right? This guy is serious, not only when he served his time in the military, but as an explorer, as a pioneer of expeditions all around the world. Okay, now, why are we talking about this? Well, I'll show you. So he came back and he wrote a diary, and the things that he came back and said that he saw sort of put a halt on anyone ever going back there ever again. And we're going to delve into that in a second. But when I say no one's really been back there, there's a few research bases. But you ain't getting to Antarctica. It just ain't happening, right? Now, this story gets a bit crazy, depending on how far and how deep you go into it, okay? But we have to remain on point. This is a well-decorated officer, okay? So we have to assume coming back and saying something that would completely destroy his reputation, and I just don't think it would be in his best interest. So when he took his aircraft, his expedition, he said that as they were crossing over all of this icy plateau, all of this great vast expanse, that they came to a mile-high ice wall all around Antarctica, right? And they could just about see what was on the other side of this huge ice wall, and it looked like vast valleys and green, luscious forests and all this kind of stuff. And let me just save your corneas here, people. There we go. Everything you need to know about Admiral Byrd's theory that the Earth is hollow, okay? Not flat, hollow. Richard E. Byrd claims he discovered the entrance to a city at the center of the Earth. Richard Byrd was an American naval officer specialized put on a pole. Admiral Byrd was also a Freemason. He served in World War I and World War II. There are whispers that that he was familiar with the Illuminati and the New World Order, and that John D. Rockefeller himself helped finance Byrd's explorations and expeditions to the poles and the land beyond or inside them. That kind of got interesting there, right? The plot thickens. For thousands of years, and I just want to point out, I'm not saying this is what I believe, just so you know, and nobody has to be convinced and believe anything by this. It's just kind of interesting to talk about, because we're talking about coming back with stuff like this at the time that you came back with stuff like this would make you look more crazy than if you were to do it now. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, look how people get treated online if they post something, oh, this paranormal thing happened or whatever. It's wild. So modern science might laugh at Admiral Byrd and his hollow earth theory, but no one could say it wasn't intricate. The hollow earth theory states that the earth is either entirely hollow or it contains some space in the interior that is open. There's an internal sun which helps sustain the life on Earth, and a sustainable life exists in the form of either people from other planet or ancient beings who choose to live here within the Earth because it was very pure and clean place. I mean, it all sounds a bit spicy. The mysterious land of Agratha, the lost paradise right under our feet. Interesting. Okay, so we're just going to call this Agartha. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing it, but we're just going to call it Agartha. It's the name of the civilization at the Earth's core. It has been called many other names, including Argata. Oh man, just among others. It's considered to be a lost paradise. Some would call the capital city of Argtha Shangri-La sound familiar. It does sound familiar. It does sound familiar. Why do we know that? Can somebody tell me why we know where Shangri-La comes from? A variety of people still believe that Argtha for religious reasons. Buddhists, among others, believe that the existence of beings in... Oh, man, we're going to have to come up with a new name for this. At the center of the earth. Yes, Mexico's Indians from the borderlands of Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana. Guyana? That's not Guyana. Ginny? I know. What is that? Can someone phonetically spell that? Because that's going to do my head in. Brazil and Guyana? Guyana. Yes! Believe in Agartha too. Time moves differently in Agartha, according to the modern theorists like Dallas Thompson. The beings there lived for thousands of years, protected from the harmful cosmic rays and other pollutants that exist. See, now that's interesting, right? Because our sun is mental, right? Mental. The Beatles. Okay. Nice. All right. You said it right the first time, Ron. Thank you. Byrd supposedly has a secret diary that details his journey to Agratha. Admiral E. Byrd kept a log of his expeditions throughout his life, documenting explorations to Antarctica and the North Pole. These diaries were published, or at least made available to the public. Yet one of the diaries remains secret. Admiral Bro supposedly kept a diary of his expeditions over the North Pole in 1947. Keep in mind as well, 1947 was when he was doing these expeditions. And what was it, like 8 years later? 13 years later, he's not with us anymore. 10 years later. This diary knows Bird's journey into the center of the Earth. He describes his entirely different environment as he passed the pole, citing rolling green hills and temperatures of 74 degrees Fahrenheit, directed to land passages coming into his craft. Admiral Byrd explains that he and his pilot were approached by beings of inner Earth who referred to them as surface world men. Yeah, Native Americans. I would love to speak to any indigenous people from anywhere. Freaking awesome, man. Like the stuff that we can learn from cultures that exist what we think is a long culture. Do you know what I mean? I often wonder, right, what the world would be like if Britain had just like chilled out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would be going on in Australia? What would be going on in America? Do you know what I mean? Like, what would be going on there? But nah, us Brits, well, not me, I'm Scottish, but those Brits, man, they're spicy meatballs. Let's just invade everything. Well, they didn't really invade America. They just thought that it would be a quicker way to India. And then they were wrong. And well, I mean, that's why Native Americans are called Indians, or were called Indians, because they thought they'd found India. And they looked at the people and went, "You must be Indians." It's so mad. It's what, to me, when I found out that, it was like this moment where I'm just like, wow, history actually does have meaning. Like, there's reasons why things are called things. Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but it kind of blew my mind a little bit. All right. Well, I would really appreciate if you guys could help me share this, because I'm going to play the new trailer for the new podcast on Friday when we get to the first hour of the show, and then I'll play it again at the end as well. But let's carry on with Admiral E. Byrd, because again, if any of this is true, okay, and all of this is being held from us, I don't know how I feel about that. And I'll tell you something else. That crazy guy with a mustache that took things a bit far, right? Like, just went a bit loopy in the 40s. His whole horrific group of people have massive ties to this place. Like, that whole Nazi regime was obsessed with Antarctica, what was going on out there. How gutted, right, would we be as an entire planet if the Nazis just got there first, right? And they were like, "Nah, mate, you don't want to be dealing with the rest of these planet folk. Mad. You just deal with how many of us are left? 9. You just deal with the 9 of us." These are the things that like keep me awake at night. I'm telling you. What if there's like a 2,500-year-old? Well, not 2,500-year-old. What if freaking head of the Nazis is like living below the earth with all of the really cool alien people, and for some reason he's managed to just be like, don't go looking past the ice wall. You don't want to look there. His story, boo, honestly, right? See when I realized history was spelled his story, right? Oh, it's not so much that it's spelled that, but that's basically what you're saying, right? That was another one of those moments where I was like, oh man, oh, we suck so much. Right. Okay. Yeah, one of the diaries remains secret. He describes an entirely different environment as he passed the pole, citing rolling green hills and temperatures of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Directed to land by messages coming into the craft, Admiral Byrd explains that he and his pilot were approached by beings of inner Earth who referred to them as surface men. While Byrd continues his story, he pauses and says that the rest of it is written by memory, unlike the hourly log that describes the craft's landing in the inner Earth. He even mentions that beings there surrounded him surrounded him to the center after the wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Where are my glasses? Freaking orange glasses. Let me just. For some reason. There we go. That's better. Right. I found it. Directed to land by message coming to the aircraft, Admiral Byrd explains that he and his pilots were approached by beings of inner Earth who referred to the story. While Byrd continues his story, he pauses to say that the rest of it is written by memory, unlike the hourly log that describes his craft's landing in the inner Earth. He even mentions that beings were summoned to him to center after the atomic bombs of World War II awakened their interest in surface humans. On Byrd's return, he stated that he. Do you know what's interesting? Oh, shut up, Ron. On Byrd's return, he stated that he had a meeting with the Pentagon, ordered to remain silent on top secret forces. Byrd zipped his lips and followed orders like the military man he was. Byrd's other diaries were released after his death in 1996. Right, what were you about to say there? Yeah. So there's been a lot of weird footage around nuclear meltdowns, nuclear facilities, nuclear problems, right? And I'm not an expert or a scientist, but I'm sure at least one of you who is watching can sum this up, right? So, Chernobyl, nuclear power station, nuclear explosion and meltdown, declared uninhabitable for 20,000 years. Okay. Did the same thing not happen in Japan? Like, remember when we were all freaking out about eating fish because of that nuclear power station that melted down in Japan, right? Like, how? I just, because there was some pretty weird stuff where, yeah, Fukushima, there we go. There was some pretty weird stuff caught in the sky there. Let me see. Now that someone spelled Fukushima, let me just look at something. Hang on. And the reason I'm mentioning this, right, is that there seems to be quite a lot of weird UFO stuff that's taken place since World War II. That it's almost like they're stopping another Chernobyl from happening. That's what I kind of feel. So when Admiral Byrd mentioned the atomic bombs waking them up, what is a nuclear or atomic bomb? Is there a difference? Okay, so let's find out. What is the difference? Nuclear. Okay. Nuclear versus atomic. Oh, can we just get a quick breakdown? No, we can't. Brilliant. Yeah, I know what. See, I don't know. I know a nuclear bomb is bigger, right? Atomic and nuclear bombs are 2 times as devastating weapons. And nuclear. What is the difference between a bomb? Right, differences. Sorry, you all made this happen. Okay, which is the more powerful, atomic or nuclear? Atomic bombs are hundreds of units more powerful than. Okay, yeah. So I think atomic was the first version of the nuclear bomb, and it because there was that they literally one of the bombs they dropped was called Big Boy, right? And I watched a documentary about it, and at least 20 minutes of the documentary was just them trying to load it onto something, right? but both of them suck. Chernobyl released far more radioactive material. So here's the thing, Collie, how though? Right? Is it not? Is it not like pretty bad regardless? Do you know what I mean? It's just very sus, Collie. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you're very, very right, and there's probably going to be a substantially less amount, I'm sure. But like, wouldn't that just mean that the radius that was uninhabitable would be smaller, right? I don't know, but I'm just saying it's weird, man. And when they brought up the atomic bombs here, I just thought I'd go on a side quest. So let's continue. The inner Earth is populated by giant beings who live to be up to 800 years old. My G's. The being. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The beings of inner Earth have been described by various explorers who claim to have encountered them. The elder race, also referred to as the giants, loom over the surface humans with their lanky 12-foot tall stature. Inner world animals are scaled up similarity. Why so big? Argratha is closer to the center of the Earth's gravity, so beings need to be more body mass to be able to move around. Okay, I don't know if that's science adds up, but I'm sure it does. These giant creatures also have superior lifespans, living upwards of 400, perhaps even 800 years. I mean, that's a bit of a jump. Living upwards of 400. In fact, you know what? Since we're just pulling things out of us, 800 years, mate. Let's go. Okay. The elder race was described as having as very friendly to people. Do you know what's interesting, Matthew? Right? I know you're saying God is king, right? Have you ever seen that movie Moses with Russell somebody? Russell Crowe? Russell Crowe? And the earlier versions of the Bible, man, that is some dark stuff. That is some real dark stuff. But is it called Moses? It's the one about the ark. Anyway, great movie, man. Like, what a movie. What a movie. But there is definitely stuff that looks like giants in that. The Watchers. The Watchers. All right. Scaled up. Okay, the elder race was described as very friendly to people of Earth. Olaf Jensen was even offered to come to have dinner with a giant during his first trip to Argatha. Agratha. Not only are they friendly, but they're highly intelligent and scientifically advanced. Amber Berg describes their flying machines as impressive. They sound like really cool dudes. Like, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Noah, yeah. What did I say? Did I say Moses? Tell me I didn't say Moses. Oh, God, I probably did say Moses. Anyway, yes. Yes. Noah and the ark. That's what I'm talking about. Lady and baby are doing fabulous. Actually, in fact, since we're all used to running his freaking side quests, we'll just fully go on our side quest. She is up to £8, 15 ounces, and had her little hips checked today, and she's doing great and being given all clear. Yeah, sorry, who were the person I was talking to there about God? Matthew. Sorry, yeah, I completely missed different deity, different one, mate. It was Moses. No, it was Noah. Okay, it was Noah and the ark. Good movie, really good movie. But really dark though. And I'll tell you another one, if you want to go full religious as well, is The Knowing with what's his name? What is his name? The guy that was in The Rock. Oh God, what is his name? The freaking meme lord. I can't remember his name. But you need to see that the Knowing. Wait, yeah, you need to see The Knowing. The Knowing, right? I swear, is one of those movies where, see, if you take the Bible and don't look at it as like a religious text, look at it as like some sci-fi movie, it kind of all makes sense. Nicolas Cage, yes, my G's. Nicolas Cage is so good, so good. But yeah, those are my two favorite religious-y movies. They're pretty awesome. The No One's not really religious. It's just it takes imageries that come from biblical times that, when the ending happens, line up with what the guy's seeing, but obviously it makes sense that it's not a device. Well, it depends how you interpret it, I suppose. But you need to watch it. It's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. All right. Inside planet Earth burns another sun. Hollow Earth theorists concur that there is a sun in the inner Earth. It isn't like the Earth's outer sun, though originally theorists believed that the northern lights, aurora borealis, were affected of the inner sun, but as more and more attention was paid to the hollow Earth, this theory was disproved. However, since we've never been able to probe the inner Earth, there is no... See, this is like... Listen, we think that we are absolutely hot potatoes, right? We haven't been to the bottom of our own ocean yet, okay? Okay? We don't know what's inside the big ball that we're walking about on, okay? And I think we've discovered more. I think we've discovered like what 1% of space. Like we suck, man. We suck as a race that's exploring stuff. As long as it's on the surface, okay. If it's on the crust, we're getting there. But you would think that we would have. In saying that, I mean, if you're putting the entrance, if we're gonna go with the whole we're a ball, and I'm okay with that, right? We're a ball, we're spinning in space, right? And we've got the South Pole, we've got the North Pole, and we've got an entrance into a hollow Earth with an ancient civilization, right? That we've all just heard about that sound very similar to a lot of things that we've heard. Nephilim, Bigfoots, all these kind of things talk about these tall beings, right? We've all heard the stories of fallen angels. There's a lot of ways of repackaging what we've heard there into something that fits into your own narrative. But no one's allowed to go back. Like, no one is allowed to go back. And there's apparently more going on than just the entrance to Agratha going on there. And what about if in Antarctica there was massive frozen like lakes, if you will, and maybe there's some urban legends from some Russian scientists that went out there and heard some things. We're going to get into that too. So let's continue. So you got to keep in mind as well. So when it says inner sun, I think a lot of you are going to write this whole theory off because what we know as a sun is a massive ball of nuclear gas out in space that is billions and billions and billions of light years away, right? And even though it's so far away from us, if we stand outside too long, it can burn our skin off, right? Yes, M13, mate. Yeah, we're on an Antarctica Admiral Byrd rant. So when you think about what we need to sustain life, right? Really, the only thing that really matters is that the sun makes whatever vegetation or whatever they need to grow, right? If they're bound by the same rules as photosynthesis and all that kind of stuff, right? And you can achieve that with a low energy house light bulb, which is not even hot. We look at our sun as what controls our temperature. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe their sun is more like a big lamp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what does the sun give us? It gives us light, it gives us time of day, and it creates the life within the plant and the vegetation and all of this kind of stuff, yeah? Oh, if you were to see something bright in the sky, metaphorically speaking, your brain would go, sun, right? But I don't know how much you'd be thinking about where your body temperature is being regulated from or what the foliage is doing. So for me, I can completely understand how there could be something in above the people in a hollow earth that could be seen as a sun, but might not necessarily be a sun as we know it. Totally could. Totally could. but we can see this. Yeah, I know we can see the sun. I'm talking about the hollow earth sun, Boo, right? Because when I say to you, Boo, think about the sun, like Admiral Byrd has said that it has their own sun, but it's different. The effect of the inner sun, we think of our sun, right? But if we were to like throw a big rope around our sun and like pull it forward and try and shove it into the middle of the earth, nah. But I mean, a tiny, 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 tiny sun. Like, how small do you have to scale down the sun from how big it is now before it's just, you know, a mile above us or something? How much do we have to scale it down? Maybe it's a case of that. But I think it's important that we try and keep in mind that we are so governed by our manipulated mind of known science, of what is fake, centuries of like being burnt at the stake if you even so much breathed anything to do with witchcraft or anything that was out with your chosen biblical text. So I think we're sort of still in recovery as a species from all of that conditioning, that when somebody says something like hollow earth with its own sun, we're so quick to write it off because of where our brain goes to within our known realms of science. And that's why I love this, man. This is what fascinates me, is because in this world, we get to let go of all the rules because it makes more sense. You know, it's kind of like when you apply regular plant life that exists all over the world that needs, a change in sunlight, a change in how much dark to light there is to create a flowering process and go into bloom. And that's why we have seasons and da 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 da. But then you look at what grows inside a cave in total darkness. Still plant life and vegetation. It just has adapted to a very different environment. So yeah, it fascinates me, man. I love this stuff. Love it. Several people claim to have visited Agratha or even have been born there. Why does that look like a big egg? Why does that look like a big egg? Also, did you know you can stick an egg in the freezer, let it freeze, right? Take it out once it's frozen, take all the shell off, and then slice it into little discs and then throw it in a frying pan and it'll make tiny little fried eggs. Tiny ones. Little tiny ones. Excuse me. Right. Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd wasn't the only person to claim he reached the inner earth or suggest that the poles of the earth were open holes that served as entrances to Agratha. Karl Unger, a German U-boat German U-boat driver, claims that he spent time in Agratha. Unger believes he reached the inner earth during an exploration in a submarine after World War II. No. I'm sure he was gnashing me. That's what he was doing. He sent a letter to the surface through the German colony in Brazil. The letter claimed to have been sent from Agratha. Billy Fay Woodward and his twin sister were believed to have been born in inner earth. They were brought to Earth's surface. They possessed extraordinary abilities like communicating in a extinct ancient language. Oh, okay. These abilities were attributed to their origins. Hang on a second. The origins of the center of the Earth. Billy supposedly made several other journeys to inner Earth throughout his lifetime. He also confirmed Olaf Jensen's description of Agratha. Olaf Jensen claims to have journeyed to Agratha. A book called The Smoky God by Willis George Emerson in 1908 portrays Jensen's journey to inner Earth with his father. He lived there for 2 years. Emerson supposed that the capital city of Agratha might have been the Garden of Eden. Interesting. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I do like that. David Keith. Yep. I'll pass that along to Sean. Do not worry. All right, I'm just checking the side chat, people. Just checking the side chat. Right? Here's the thing. At least the stuff under the water, right, that we're still discovering, I can get behind that. Okay? I can get behind that. I mean, it's under the water, mate, right? I can understand water pressure and getting down further. How are we still discovering like great apes, mate? How have they just discovered 3 new species of killer whale? Right? Do you see what I mean? We suck. We suck. Like, imagine when the aliens come, right? And they're like, yeah, we know everything about our planet. We haven't even got to the bottom of the puddles. Just saying, man. And also, like, where are all the tigers, mate? That's what I would be asking if I was the aliens. Like, where are the tigers? Why is there only 4 tigers left in Siberia? What have you done with my tigers? Uh-huh. Yeah. See, when the tiger race come to Earth and they're like, what have you done? Uh-huh. Sorry, mate. We can't be trusted not to kill everything. Sorry, mate. Doritos needed the palm oil at 3 cents a liter cheaper than the vegetable oil, so we had to murder all the tigers. Sorry, tigers. Sorry, mate. Jesus. And this is going to sound savage, right? This is going to sound savage, okay? But since there's only like 3.5 lions left, right? I think it's only, we should be at the point now where somebody needs to just buy a big bit of land in Africa and just breed animals for people to murder, okay? So that all of the stuff, that, like the 3 remaining lions and the 2 elephants that are left, have a chance to live. And I know this sounds horrible, but someone's going to kill them all, and then there's going to be none. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. No one's going to stop. This is the problem. I know you're like, but we'll just stop them from doing it. Okay. Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck. Once Simba's done, right? Once Mufasa's done, once Simba's done, Nala's, they're all done, right? You can come back and be like, oh, yeah, actually, it probably would be a good idea that we realize that we are part of a massive problem of people that, and I'm not like some vegan on a rant here. This isn't about like eating animals. I think they're delicious. Okay. In fact, I bet if tiger tastes really good, right, there'd be billions, right? There'd be billions. There'd be like the McTiger, right? It'd be freaking America would be churning out tigers. Would be drinking tiger milk. All right. Getting down there, getting the tiger's milk. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But it's mental. It's mental that it's just like, oh, where are the orangutans? Where are they gone? Why is there now nowhere in the world where you can find naturally occurring animals that have lived together for all of time? Do you know that one tiger, right, needs like 20,000, is it 20,000 or 2,000 square kilometers of territory? One of them. Lucky there's only 4 left, eh? Oh, so yes, right. If the tiger people come back, if the dodo people come back, and to be honest, though, I imagine if there's a race of dodo people out there, they've probably all wiped themselves out. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not. I hate to. It's not. No, Anne. I'm not being funny. We can't even say it was us, right? We got told about all the madness that has gone on years after it's happened, and went, "Oh no, that is no." But someone sat in an office somewhere and went, tigers or palm oil. You know what I mean? This is the thing that blows my mind, right? Somebody actually made that decision, right? That's who's destroyed the tigers. We need to be specific here. This is the problem, man. We've all been conditioned to think it was us. It wasn't us. It wasn't us at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody came to you, Anne, and was like, listen, Anne, right? I'm from Doritos. And I need to say to you, there's a good chance we're about to do something pretty devastating, allegedly, right? Just to get some oil cheaper. See, instead of us doing that, if we put the price of Doritos up by 8 cents, will you still buy them? Like, give us, like, at least ask. We might not mind. I wouldn't mind. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's going to go up by 8 pence, but the Tigers get to live. Okay, Doritos. And also, how come stuff keeps getting cheaper to make, but the price stays the same? Does anyone remember going out and buying a new computer game for £50 and or $50, right? And you'd get your game, Xbox, PC, whatever, on a disc, and you'd come home and you'd stick it in your console and you'd play your game, right? So how come now, when there's no packaging, no discs, no printing, no distribution, is it still 50 quid? If you're lucky. I seen one the other day, right? $120. I mean, it was some mad exchange. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Are we all, how stupid are we? How stupid are we? Are stupid, man. How have we allowed all of this to happen? Like, how? And all of us are to blame for allowing it to continue. I just don't get it. Like, I'm triggering myself now. I'm triggering myself because Anne, Doritos, metaphorically speaking, they'll say it's your fault, Anne. They're going to say, Anne, listen, you don't deserve Tigers, Anne. Because last week we saw you buying Walmart's own version of Doritos. And until we can lower our prices, Anne, so you come back to us, no more Tigers. If you think I'm wrong, just let me know in the side chat. Honestly, I maybe have watched an episode of that Our Planet the other day with Nova, and I may have found some things out about tigers that have triggered me a lot, and I'm probably going to be standing up for the tigers a lot this year, even though murdery cats, right? Like, I'll be honest, they are the most like a house cat for being a total bellend, right, than any of the other big cats. Like, I imagine that so many people have just been chilling in India, right? Little dude got his little pack lunch, right? He's sitting under a tree eating his sandwich. And then a fully stuffed, non-hungry tiger just sees him and goes, oh, mate, that's my tree. That is my tree. And just as you're sitting in the house, right? Sitting in the house, you're eating your sandwich, and then for some reason your cat just like attaches itself to your shin and does 3 or 4 big mad back leg kicks and then runs off. Nah, mate. Nah. Like, that ruins my day as a house cat. Tigers, right? As much as they're beautiful and amazing, and they deserve to have their territories. I mean, they're not that cool when it comes to humans, right? I mean, did you see the bit of footage of the guy on the back of the elephant? This elephant is like 12, 13 foot off the ground, and this tiger just jumps straight out the grass about 12 foot in the air and swipes at this boy. I don't want tigers to be so repopulated that they start affecting my life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to suddenly see a weird Scottish breed of tiger be brought into the world, you know, unless it was declawed, right? I'm just saying, like, some big tiger boops would be nice, but man, they gotta be declawed. How did we get onto this? Somebody's caused this. This wasn't my fault. I didn't go off on a tiger. I can't remember how we got to this side quest. Okay. Oh yeah, and then we're straight into this word. Brilliant. So DJ Cool is a Tibetan master of the ancient historic spiritual tradition. Oh, I better get his name right. Dawal Kul is a Tibetan master of the ancient Aristotic spiritual tradition known as the Ageless Wisdom. It is believed that he is a reincarnation of Caspar, one of the 3 wise men who visited Jesus upon his birth. Damn! Cool's views on hollow earth theory support the theories of people who have visited the inner earth. Damn. Tiger boops, though. Telling you. Tiger boops. Tiger boops. Very different when with or without claws. All right. It's very different from the tiger boobs. Cool confirmed the Admiral Byrd's story, as well as confirming the governments in the United States and other governments were aware of the civilizations inside the inner earth. The knowledge of much like their top secret knowledge of UFOs are well hidden from the public. God damn. Not only did Cool confirm the existence of Agratha, but he suggested that there were other species besides the North and South Poles. Some of these entrances, there are entrances beside the North and South Poles, and some of these entrances were located in Egypt, Tibet, Yucatan, Bermuda Triangle, and Africa. All right. Do you know what else we're going to talk about this week? We're going to talk about that place in Turkey, something Bepi or Blabepi or Tetepi or something, right? Because mate, that is the sussest of sussing stories ever. Okay, it's well, we'll go into that this week though, because I'm telling you, obviously I need to remember what it's called first. All right. Modern people have been studying the hollow earth since the 17th century. Richard E. Byrd wasn't the first modern person to develop theories about hollow earth. In 1692, Edmund Halley of Halley's Comet suggested Earth was hollow, calling the density of the moon. Okay. So basically, a lot of stuff theorizing, right, about this hollow Earth. Okay, but we want to know more about Admiral Byrd. May have not reached the North Pole after all. This is not even the weirdest theory. Okay. So stay there, people. Stay there. Dun, 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 dun. All right, 1 sec. So just imagine if Admiral Byrd's story is true. We're talking about like a mile-high ice wall, entrances to inner dwellings of Earth. This freaking chair is doing my head in. I keep lowering down. Now, why in the hell, if there wasn't something up there, okay, why would they be stopping everyone going up there? Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing. No one's allowed to go. Like, and I know you're like, well, it's cold, Ron. People, well, if something happens, Ron. That's not how it works, mate. That's not how it works. No. The wonders of technology. We can go virtually to Antarctica. Oh, no, that's an image. I don't know how to do this. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So you're going to notice a lot of this is completely redacted. Okay. Can't show you what's going on over here. So we've got little stations here that are all around the edge, and our one station that is the furthest from the edge. Now, why? Why though? Look at the size of this son bitch. Yeah, but we're not allowed to see what's here. This is not allowed to see this. This is redacted. Right, let's see where let's find somewhere we can actually physically stand. Can we stand and look at this? Maybe. Nope. I mean, it's tiny, tiny little out. What is that? What are these? Like nubbins. I'm watching you, Wojciechowski. Always watching. But yeah, I mean, it's just shady madness, man. So the fact that we're not allowed to go back here, the fact that we're not allowed to even look at, I mean, what is that? A big frozen mass of just craziness. All right, come on, let me drop a dude down here. Can we not drop a dude anywhere? So you're not going to let us stand anywhere in Antarctica? Not can't you're not even from a digital map perspective. Are we allowed to go and stand anywhere? Is that what you're saying? Oh wow. Derman, what the frick is this? Like that is a pure scary gray face, man. Big eye, wee nostrils. What do you mean station? Where's the station? Oh, there's the station. What is all this red stuff? What is this? Why is all this redness? I don't want to play anymore. All right. Well, apparently we've just got like red mount. I mean, it could just be brown rock, right? I mean, that is really, really red. But yeah, they ain't going to let us stand up anywhere in here. They ain't having it. But again, just look at the size we're talking about. It's basically like we've got Australia, massive oven, Antarctica, the freezer. And they're massive. Right, come on, just let me. Can we go in here? Oh, we're going in there. Oh, yes, here we go. All right, keep your eye. Oh, there's the wee Google thing. That's this reflection. All right. So, anybody see any? This is wild. Yeah, do you not think it's mad, right, that we live in a day and age where a guy on the internet can just go on the internet and all of a sudden we're looking at actual photographs of literally anywhere in the world? Like, I remember, this is the sort of thing you would see in a movie when I was growing up. Just telling you, man, I just love it. I just love technology. It's too good. But take us out of here. There's nothing that we can really look at. Oh, are these some more bits? No. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Whoa. I mean, it's like a different planet. What is that? Why do all of the rocks on the ground look like weird, like skulls? Why does it look like we're in like some sort of weird graveyard? I mean, we're not, but I'm just saying it's freaking wild landscape. Right, we'll do a couple more and then we'll get the frick out of here. Are we still in Antarctica? Or have I? Yeah, okay. Okay, so there's a lot of little bits we can go and look at. I retract what I said, but we don't have just like free will to go running about. I'll be honest, I expected more snow, right? I'm not going to lie. I did expected more snow. Wait a minute. Yeah, it just shows you how massive this is. Because if this is the bit we're allowed to see, right? And some bits down here as well. I mean, look. I mean, what is that? 1%? Half a percent? Do you know what I mean? How many of these can you fit into the rest of this? I'll have a look at one more wee bit, and then let's try and find a snowy bit. There's a base here. What is this? McMurdo. Well, honestly, this just looks like see when we look this way. Like if you just change some of this snow to sandy color, man. I mean, this is just another planet. And what the frick is this? Oh, could you imagine? You tell your missus you're going on a science expedition to the Antarctic, and this is where they're putting you up on. Oh, don't worry, babe. Don't worry. It's made of corrugated iron. Oh, don't worry. Oh, no. Like, what is all this? What are these for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 by 3. 14 by 3 is 42. Double that to 84. 172. So let's say arguably, right? There's up to like I mean, these must be rooms, right? So there's at least like 80 rooms, if not more, because it must be double-sided, man. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But it just seems like a lot. So let's have a look at the other sites, because maybe this is, but I mean, why would you have all the accommodation in one place? Why would you need that many? Why would the Institute of Colombo International, McMurdo Station, McMurdo General Hospital? Wait, we're still in Antarctica, right? Wait. Let me just check my brain. I swear to God that said a hospital. Yeah. Okay. All right. I've lost it now, but I'm kind of okay with it. That was weird. Arrival Heights Laboratory, Scott Base. You'll just have to bear with me again. I need to this is mad. Why would there be a general hospital and all those buildings? What are those buildings for? Like, why is there so many people over there on Antarctica that they need a general hospital and 4 barracks? Like, it just seems a bit like, what are you up to? What are you doing? What are you up to over there? So this is the part that's closest to somewhere, right? What is this? Argentina? Yeah, okay. Brown Station. Because now this makes sense, right? Like this part here to be super populated makes sense, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you all read that? Okay. Okay. All right. That's right, Collie Luna. That's exactly right. What else can we find? Yeah, it did. It did just say that. Yeah. It's down here. Yeah. So we know it's if we go from the tip that's closest to Argentina and go up the back here, it's up here. It's not even that cool a bit. I mean, and why is it redacted? Oh no. Right, let's just collectively forget we've seen that. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff. A lot of weird stuff. Now, could we have completely are we being fooled by what we're seeing? I mean, I've never been to the edge of a country and walk around it to make sure the maps are right. And it's the same with Google Earth. Now, let's have a look at the South Pole. Let's see what's going on up here. Oh no, that's Greenland. Wait. Am I tripping? Is Greenland in the South Pole? It might be. Wait, the North Pole. I'm tripping. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? I'm sorry, what? What? All right, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. What? All right, listen. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take a short break for like 3 minutes. I'm going to play the advert from a new podcast, and then we'll come back and have a chat. Processed to 4K. Yes, it has. Brilliant. Got to get that 4K madness. All right, everyone. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Please stick around. You're going to want to see this trailer, and I could really use everyone's support with this. I would very much appreciate it. You're all awesome. I'll be back in 3 minutes. This is the start of something amazing, and I really, really want you all to be part of it. So when the trailer goes up and the links are all up, please share the crap out of it, and I'll see you all in 3 minutes.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. You always knew that you'd be the one that would find you would lay awake at night and ski. I thought that you would change, but it was just you.
All right. Now, this podcast is going to report on the actions of a movement that has absolutely no name. It's just a logo. There's no channel. There's no brand. This is going to go out on multiple channels, all simultaneously every week, so that those evildoers, those powers that be, there's nothing to take down. There's nothing to go after. You know, there's no algorithmic issues that are going to take place. And I want to create a symbol that, as the movement grows, people start displaying or putting stickers up around their town, right? Around their town. Maybe you've got a coffee shop. You put the little symbol there. You put a QR tag when people come in, they can scan it when they have their coffee. And slowly but surely, over time, this will become a prevalent symbol in some areas. And the predators and the PDF files in those areas will know that when they see this symbol around, that there's a group of people who understand that children are not a commodity and we are looking out for our children. There's no name, there's nothing that can say you're part of something other than this symbol, because a symbol transcends language barriers, you know? And we're going to try and change the world a little bit. And it's your, this all belongs to you. The movement is yours. The movement is everyone's. So there's no copyright on anything. So if you've got no money, but you've got time and you want to make up your own stickers or you want to draw posters or whatever, go for it. You know, if you have got money, we'll obviously, we will have a merch store where people can buy stickers, QR tags, all this, but everything that is available to purchase will also be free for anyone to download and, you know, get those iron-on transfillers and stuff like that. All of that. Easy peasy. It's not about the people that can support financially, great, because we have got a lot. And when I say that, when I say things are going on behind the scenes, none of you are going to believe what we've been up to. Beverly, myself, and Big Homie for the last few months. And it's just mental. Like, we thought what me and the ghosts and what we'd done previously on YouTube was wild. This is the next level. And we're now at a stage where there's actual physical operations happening and people are having their lives changed and things are happening. So yeah, get ready to be part of it. Join in that Discord, right? Because there's a very special announcement. Okay. And there's a lot of layers to this. Okay. And when this podcast goes out, it'll be a long podcast, right? It's going to be a fun podcast, and it's going to be delivered in a way that is monetizable and non-weaponizable to the other platforms that are going to be sharing. But after the main podcast, there's going to be shows that take place on Discord that only exist on Discord. If you miss them, you miss them. They're gone forever. And it's very much going to be where we harness the community. We gather together. We're in the public. We do the public show. The podcast ends. And then as a community, as a movement, we collectively share in moments together. Because these platforms, the companies that own these platforms, they're great. They're awesome. But I would much rather secure everything this movement requires independently of algorithms. All right. This work is too serious to depend on what the algorithm thinks of you from one day to another. If we're a movement and a collective and we have no set destination for content to go out, all of you can be right into other creators saying, hey, listen, would you host an episode? Hello? Yes. Yeah, anymore. Sorry about that, everybody. So I've oh yeah, listen, that video, 3 minutes of footage that you just watched was 16 hours work for me. 16 hours. And the full version of it is 17 minutes long. What you just seen there was the introduction. The second part explains about the movement, about how we want to create something that isn't just a podcast. The podcast only exists. Surviving Life, the podcast only exists to educate, infiltrate, and liberate through the support and the creation of this movement. Because if it's just another YouTube channel, if it's just another, hey guys, come subscribe. I don't care, right? Personally, when it comes to this, all right? Definitely subscribe though, all right? Definitely be subscribing and sharing. But I want this to be more than that. It has to be more than that. And in order to be more than that, it has to be something that isn't there now. And it has to be fluid, and it has to be almost indestructible. Because the community, right? The movement in the community has way more power behind it than any channels. But when you take maybe 10 or 20 or 15 channels, combine them and put them all out, and the audience growth and the message and the belief and the collective projection and love, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And I'm really excited to be pushing this out there. To be honest, the guests, if you we're here, it's not really an interview show. So if we have guests on, they'll probably be individuals who've been liberated from operations. If that makes sense. Like I don't really know what guests we would have on. We might have specialists on from the educate side, or there may be individuals who are involved with operations who come on anonymously. There may be stories from people that have been sent in that have to be anonymous. Like, you've got to understand, we're the highly polished front end of something that doesn't really consider the human rights of people that violate human rights. Does that make sense? So it's not a podcast that's talking about stuff that has to do with stuff. It's a podcast that will be reporting on operations, and those operations take place in the real world, in the digital world, and in the spiritual world. And it's going to get real freaking real fast. I'm just saying. So yeah, get ready, because it's going to be wild. Now, we're getting towards the end of this wonderful little show for show one. We've touched on Admiral Byrd, and we sort of started touching, well, I guess really on the whole concept of us being food spend. Yeah, mate. We've been food spend. We've been spoon fed all of this nonsense. Now, I think it's a Bebli Tepe or something. I will know what it's called tomorrow, but I'd like to talk about that tomorrow, about archaeological things that get dug up, and then governments go, that will basically make the last 2,000 years of history and known science null and void. So maybe just, stop the archaeological dig that's gone on for the last 4 years, sell the land to a billionaire, say that he's going to continue with the archaeological dig, shut it down for almost a decade, then fill it all back in when no one's looking, and then plant a forest on top of it. Thank you, RH. Thanking you. There we go. Oh, and also Nikki, thank you as well. Gobekli Tepe. There we go. That is the one. And there's other examples of lost civilizations and lost things that we're going to delve in and chat about. But I think Gobekli Tepe is a good one to start. And Karan Tepe is okay. Nice. Hang on a second. Let me just. And then what was the other one? Was Karahan. Karahan Tepe. Okay, nice. All right, nice one, mate. Yeah, I've got both of them. Thank you very much for the spellings. It's such an significant. We just get told so much nonsense. Like, do you honestly think that if somebody started digging up the Sphinx tomorrow, they would continue digging? It's kind of like a big cat woman with like a face with big paws. Well buried. Egypt would be they'd be on Amazon buying up the sand. Get that tipped in there. It's just nuts. So the Daily Disclosure, our little daily show, we're going to dive into all kinds of things, various topics and all the rest of it. We may do some headline stuff as well, depending on what's in the news. But I'm going to be putting at least 3 shows out in the morning each week. And I thought it's kind of going to be like me developing the card reading stuff that I do. Now, I done one with Dan for the first time using the 3 decks. Because for me, trying to give somebody an answer or guide them with 1 deck of cards and 1 ethos in the cards is just mad. So if you'd be interested, we've got the crows. I know you've all seen the crows, the urban crows, right? So for me, this is you, the person, right? So we use this deck for. Then we have Earth and Bone, which is a very neutral deck, right? Very gothic-y looking deck as well. That is, your present and your answers for what you want for the future, okay? And then we've got Dark Mirror, which is incredibly, really, really, really dark cards that represent the problem from the previous year or the issue, what caused the issue you're looking for answers for, or the negativity that you want to avoid from your past. And that, to me, you get 1 of these cards, you get 2 of these cards, and you get 1 of these cards. And that, to me, gives me a really interesting way of reading for people. And I'm just excited to throw some of that at you guys. So I've got a tripod and everything looked out, my second camera. And it will probably be a little camera that sits about here that looks down at the desk, so that when I'm doing the cards, I'm pulling them out 1 at a time. Everyone can see them. And yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, I think we're done. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for being awesome. Make sure you join that Discord. I know a lot of you already are, because there's wads of you in there. There's not a lot you can do on that Discord, and I'm aware of that. It's just in case any trolls come in and start harassing people or posting madness or anything like that. It's just to keep you guys safe until there's moderation happening there. And yeah. Hey Ron, when can we get? So tomorrow morning, I'm going to start the readings and things like that. You'll probably see me do some dry runs with people off Discord, because I think it's good to actually have the voice conversation with this. Yeah, but we'll try it from the side chat too. So I'm wanting it to be about, well, I say morning show, probably be about 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock, like a lunchtimey sort of time. And then we're straight in at 3 o'clock each day with the Daily Disclosure. Some nights I'm going to be shifting some of the shows around as well. so that I can basically give Dan the ability to go and see her mum with the baby for a couple of nights if she wants to. And then those nights where she would go and see her mum is when the majority of my evening stuff would be, other than the Friday and the Sunday nights, if that makes sense. So yeah. But this chair that I bought, right? I was up here when we started the stream, and now I'm way down here. So all right. Well, listen, thank you all for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe and help me push this out. I do apologize. Tomorrow's show will have the updated thumb. They will have stuff in the titles, and it will make a little bit more sense what you're walking into. But the Daily Disclosure is going to cover everything from conspiracies, hidden knowledge, government stuff, headlines, things that are clearly hidden agendas that are being resold and repackaged as just awesome ideas. And that's about it. So listen, thank you all for being here. And I'm sorry I'm so low down. This is awful. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. And get ready. Because this is the last year where nobody will ever be able to say now, what about the kids? Hey, what are you doing about the kids? What are you doing? Okay. Because we're all going to have the ability to be united under a wordless, titleless symbol that's only exists to represent those who want to protect the innocence of children and create a symbol that is a driving nightmare in the minds of those who disagree with our protection of children's innocence. You know, the lovely PDFs. Wouldn't it be great if they started waking up each day and walking down the street and they seen some bumper stickers, or they seen some people with a badge on a bag, and their local shop's got a little window sticker, and they start realizing that every single person is aware to be keeping their eyes out for people just like them. Just like them. I almost said him, but it could be a her. Because people are so separated, religious, cultural, age. But none of that matters. None of that matters when it comes to keeping kids safe. Okay? None of that matters when it comes to keeping kids safe. This is one united banner that does not give a rat's ass about anything other than saving kids. Welcome, all of you. Let us get ready for the movement. And I just want to say once again, thank you to everyone. Hang on one second. Yeah, cryptids at 8. Finishing show now and doing your thumb. Hang on a second, everybody. There we go. Sorry, just typing to the boss. All right, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you again for being awesome. Thank you for giving me this chance to create this whole thing, and for you all to be part of it. Because, like I say, I'm creating it for everyone. It's not for me. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that we need support with, and you'll hear all about it. But my Discord, the Patreon, everything that everyone's been waiting on will launch on Friday with the podcast. And I just want to say thank you to everyone again. And I will see you all. Yeah. All right. Listen, thank you for being here. Love you guys. See you in the next one. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock with the wonderful Beverly Rhodes and Azria. Take care. Much love.